So after the titles, I'll ask you about your band, the Rhythm Doctors, and their demise. Is that right?
Demise, yes.
How are you going to describe them?
Describe them? The Rhythm Doctors? Well, I really don't know. We were known as the Purveyors of Pandemonium, the masters of musical madness. But we were just a bunch of crazy young cats out to have the best damn rides of our crazy lives. From Montreal to Madrid, from Singapore to Stockholm, from Barcelona to Bodmin Parkway. We unleashed a unique blend of thrash, jazz and off-the-map humour to an unsuspecting world, and the funny thing was, people seemed to love it. It was all going so well, until it all went wrong and fell apart. As to the reason why it all fell apart, well, I don't know. I mean, there were, how should I put it, musical differences. And the drummer, wow, not what drummers are like. And then there was what I was going through. I mean, I had issues with where, if anywhere, I was going as a musician. Was I just turning into some cheap entertainer, not worthy even of owning an instrument, let alone playing it? That was not a good day for me. But I think what was affecting me more than anything was that I was in more or less constant back pain. What had started in my 30s as an occasional twinge had in a few short years turned into something far worse. And the worrying thing was that my appearance had started changing. My shoulders were becoming all hunched like this. My legs stiffened up like this. My accent was different. I seemed to be turning into a Bella Lugosi. I'd just like to point out, I didn't have a deformed hand. I used to carry a bird cage. Well, I had to, because I was looking after an injured Welsh mole at the time.
That's right, boyo. I got my wrist strapped in the washing machine. All I got for Christmas was a pointed stick.
So anyway, that was me.
And as you can imagine, I thought I should do something about this before it got any worse. So I went to see my doctor, and I said,
Doctor, I've got a bad back.
And the doctor said,
Well, I'll examine you and if necessary refer you to a specialist.
And I said,
That doesn't sound like the next line in a doctor joke.
And the doctor said,
Mr. Hart, this is not a joking matter.
Then I said,
But we're in the middle of a humorous routine about it. On film.
Then he said, That's no concern of mine.
Well, it should be, because you're in it too.
What, me? In a film? What? Oh, I see. Oh, my. Anyway, that was my doctor, who did examine me, and did indeed refer me to the hospital, where I was diagnosed by a consultant special. Actually, I was diagnosed by a couple of rabbits.
Oh, you could have a very bad back.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Who are you?
I'm the second opinion.
But seriously, I was diagnosed by a consultant specialist.
Ah, Hart. Yes, you've got a thing called ankylosing spondylitis. Congratulations. How fun.
It had a name. Ankylosing spondylitis. Ankylosing spondylitis. Ankylosing spondylitis.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
The specialist also told me it was known as AS. At least,
That's what they call it down the bungee jumping club.
he also mentioned words like
Degenerative.
and,
Incurable.
but he was good enough to give me a remarkably concise description of my condition.
Ah, well, yes. This is you, a few years ago. Young, fit, happy. And these little circles represent your friends and family. See how they surround you with love and support. Now see how the disease bends the back, fusing the bone, ravaging the body, crippling and deforming as it goes. And at the same time you can see how one by one your nearest and dearest disappear from view. Probably in abject horror at your appalling and frankly rather embarrassing condition, until you are left a solitary, shady character, shunned by society.
His advice to me was simple.
Go home and rot! Are you sure I can't tempt you to a bun?
Anyway, I did get given this sort of open prescription thing, which meant I could try any of the prescriptive drugs available. You know, like the low-level painkillers like paracetamol, and then there's aspirin, and then there was the anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, and then there was sleeping tablets like zopiclone, and then there was the codeine mixtures, and then there was antidepressants, which is amitriptyline, moving right up into the morphine drugs and all the different mixtures. So obviously I tried everything out. And that was a hell of a night.
Is that when it happened?
What?
Is that when the Rhythm Doctors split up?
Well, it was around that time that the guitarist fulfilled his dream of settling down to a life of domestic bliss with his Devonian princess. The bass player went back to being strange on more of a full-time basis.
Snog! Snog!
And the drummer, no, he really got his act together, last thing I heard, and was working for the construction industry.
And you? Did you go home and rot?
Well, I suppose I did for a while. And then, one day, I received this phone call out of the blue from a friend, and he asked me if I could fill in for him at short notice at this gig. And I thought, well, seeing as I've been shunned by the medical profession, written off by society as a hopeless freak, and am currently standing on the edge of the eternal abyss, wondering just how much future I have got left, I thought, hell, why not? So I went along, and I did it. I just played a bit of music, messed around a bit, and made people laugh. And every time they laughed, I felt a bit better. My shoulders started freeing up. Feeling in my leg came back. My accent disappeared almost completely.
Well, hello.
And from that day, I started performing again, and have continued to feel better ever since. I mean, whether it's the healing power of laughter, or music, or performance, or all three, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Because whatever it is, it keeps me alive.
Okay, that sounds alright. Let's give it a go. Oh, and by the way, what about the end?
Well, I was thinking something like this.
The end. But the Purveyor of Pandemonium will return in beer.
I never give advice. But if I had to, I would say never, 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 never grow a beard. That's right, a religion was based entirely on beards and bread. Bread and beards. No immediate connection. Until of course you realise that bread is an anagram of beard.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every day.
Happy. So happy. Yes, you've got a thing called ankylosing spondylitis. Congratulations. Have a bun.